Okay, let's talk about a feeling we all know. You've just finished a huge research project. You've spent days, maybe even weeks, collecting articles, data, notes, and now you're just staring at this absolute mountain of information. And you just feel stuck, overwhelmed. The big question: how do you get from that messy pile of info to a single, clear decision? Well, that's what we're going to break down.
Right? This is the moment. All the hard work of collecting stuff is done. But what now? How do you actually turn all that chaos into a confident choice? Because let's be real, collecting information feels productive. You're adding things, you're building a pile. But the analysis, that's when the real work starts. It's not about finding more stuff, it's about making sense of what you've already got.
So you're in this first stage. We could call it analysis paralysis. And there's this vague, heavy pressure. You know, you feel like the answer has to be in there somewhere, but you have absolutely no idea where to even begin digging.
This is such a perfect analogy, isn't it? You've got all the clippings, the photos, the notes, random threads connecting things, and it's all just pinned to a board. You know the answer is in there, but right now it's just noise. And the biggest temptation is to just start shuffling things around, just hoping a pattern will magically pop out. And this brings us to a really critical fork in the road. When you're faced with this mess, you can basically go down one of two paths. There's the default path, and then there's a much, much smarter way.
This is what almost all of us do without thinking. We just start wandering. We click around our notes, we reread a few random paragraphs. Maybe we even go back to Google to find just one more source. It's totally frantic, it's unfocused, and it's all driven by this vague hope that the answer will just appear.
And this is the giant mindset shift we have to make. Your goal right now is not to create more output, not another summary, not another document. The goal is to make a better decision using what's already in front of you. It's a total switch from thinking about quantity to thinking about quality.
And, this comparison really says it all. On the left, you've got that chaotic, stressful wandering we just talked about. It leads to more stuff, but it's slow and you make mistakes. But look at the right, a calm, methodical, faster approach. It's not about creating more output, it's about making better choices.
Okay, so how do we actually do the thing on the right? It all starts with a really powerful mental tool, a way to diagnose what's actually going on in your head when you feel like you're not getting anywhere.
Now, this might be the single most important idea in this entire explainer. When you're deep in analysis, you usually feel one of two things. You're either stuck or you're spinning. They can feel almost identical, but they mean completely different things. And learning to spot the difference, honestly, it's a superpower. So what's spinning? Think of that detective rereading the same meaningless clue for the 10th time. You're clicking the same links, rereading the same paragraphs, shuffling your notes in the same way, and just hoping for a different outcome. It's a totally unproductive loop. You're not actually learning anything new. Stuck, on the other hand, is amazing. It's actually progress. Being stuck means you've properly tested an idea and proved it wrong. The path you are on is a dead end. Now, that's not a failure. That's valuable new information. It is a crystal clear signal telling you it's time to pivot and try a new hypothesis. So here's the bottom line. Stuck gives you information. Spinning just repeats the same lack of information. The faster you can recognize which one you're in, the quicker you can get back to actually making progress. Let's just break this down so it's super clear. The feeling. Spinning feels frustrating, like you're on a hamster wheel. Stuck feels like you've hit a solid brick wall. The meaning. Spinning means you are in a useless loop. Stuck means you've successfully disproven an idea. So what's the correct action? If you're spinning, you need to stop and create a new, clear hypothesis. If you're stuck, you should actually feel good. You've learned something. Now you can move on to test the next idea. All right, so now that we have this incredibly useful distinction, how do we build it into a repeatable process? A system that takes us from that first moment of overwhelming pressure to a final, clear decision. Here it is. It's a simple, four-step workflow. First, you form a clear, testable hypothesis. Not a vague idea, but something specific, like, I believe option A is the best choice because of reason X. Second, you test that hypothesis methodically against the information you have. Third, you ask yourself that crucial question, am I stuck or am I spinning? And finally, fourth, you make an honest decision. Based on your answer, you either prove your hypothesis right, or you learn it's wrong and it's time to form a new one.
What's so great about this is that it takes that big, vague, overwhelming anxiety and transforms it into a calm, orderly series of small, manageable decisions. It's no longer about this mythical quest to find the answer. It's just about testing one idea, learning from it, and then taking the next logical step.
And that really is the whole ballgame. You are replacing that formless pressure with a clear, reliable process. You're turning chaos into clarity, one small, honest decision at a time. It empowers you to know exactly what to do next. So I'll leave you with this question. Think about some project in your own life right now where you feel that pressure, that sense of being overwhelmed. Instead of just spinning your wheels, what is the one clear hypothesis you can test right now? What is your next honest decision?